And we are live from Apex. Monique,
Hey, Jeremy.
what a time. Yo,
Yes,
it's
here
been a
we are.
blast.
It is a blast. It's our second night here, and there's such energy in this room. It's fabulous. Really, really fabulous. So glad to be here.
Yes, like I always heard about the Apex conference and how fun it was, and then I came here and it's a lot of fun. Plus, whenever you get to go and watch Miguel give a speech about what's coming up in as far as legislation and everything else across the entire country, and how he's breaking it down by different like court districts and everything else, like it's really, really useful, especially for those of us in advocacy. Like it's been a blast. Like some of the best minds in pharmacy are here, and it's fun to just like come and have a drink with them.
Yeah. I'm somehow bereft of a drink, but I'll fix that. I'll just borrow Brandy's Brandy and just have a.
Hoo-ah!
Oh, haven't had one of those in a while. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, technical difficulties by me misclicking. Yes, that's our camera.
Like the Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah. But everyone, like, welcome to PBM on the Rocks.
Yes. Very, very glad. So we have a wonderful show with us, and one is sitting with us right now, Michael Wright. Michael, lead in, say hi.
Hey.
In a minute, I'm going to give up my seat. Michael, and talk with you about some of the important advocacy things.
Yeah, it's American Pharmacies is at the forefront of doing a lot as far as advocacy legislatively. I love AP. Like, I think you all are like one of the premier like group as far as pharmacy buying groups, everything else. Everything you do, I support and I love. And being here is awesome. Tell us a little about how this year's went and what we got going on.
Well, first of all, thank you for those kind and gracious words. We think we're doing things right. Up to and Buck has been a great partner.
Yeah.
A great partner. All of the states and on the front. Very well run organization. Great to be here with you.
Yeah. I'm glad. I talked to you a little earlier about like all our efforts and everything we're doing. What are you most excited about coming up?
Most excited about stuff coming up is legislation dealing with 2025 legislation. Independent community is hemorrhaging underwater reimbursement across the country. The closing of independent is an American tragedy.
It is.
No doubt about it. Pharmacy deserts, loss of access, is absolutely critical, and we have to stem that bleeding, stop all these store closures, come back to where reimbursement.
We do. Like we've got to get we got to get to where not only we exist but we thrive. Communities are better when independent pharmacy is thriving because we take care of our communities. We give back to our communities. And now that we're in this position where we're getting squeezed to the point of closing, even high volume stores, they're getting squeezed to the point where they're cash flow negative. Yeah. And we're having the healthcare infrastructure of this country completely destroyed for at this point, conglomerate profits. That's all it is. They're not saving patients money. They're not saving plans money. They're saving employers money. They're really just coming in and squeezing all of us and making record profits every quarter.
Absolutely. And the tragedy, deal with this, is the vertical integration.
Yes.
Of care. And pharmacies caught in massive corporations, 5 or 6 layers where they own the pharmacy, they own dabbling with on economic viability in the pharmacy community. Necessarily so much, which is necessary. Economic viability.
Yes, that's one thing that I always argue. People talk about expanding scope, and that's fine but the thing is, when you expand scope, these to me are side hustles, and it's great to have them, and it's great to evolve the profession, and it's great to have extra income. But at the end of the day, if our primary function is dispensing, and we can't exist focusing on our primary function, we're telling the world that, hey, we shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
So we really have to nail down reimbursement, otherwise we're not viable.
Yeah. Well, the independent pharmacy community in COVID deserves
Yes.
what they did in filling the gap on immunizations during COVID. An absolute stellar performance by the independent community. And
Yeah.
That's scope of practice, kind of. And you're right, economics, reimbursement, underwater reimbursement. This late year in Louisiana, Tennessee, dealing with acquisition.
Yes.
And what the pharmacist pays $100 for a product, sell it for $62. That underwater reimbursement. And we have ideas, and we have legislation being drafted. Texas, Michigan, Arizona, New Mexico, bills that will say that the pharmacist must be less than actual acquisition. It's only fair, it's only right. Who would expect anybody to buy a car and sell it for less than
Exactly.
you paid the manufacturer?
They have used their position, which I think economists in the future, which economists are mostly useless, but I think economists in the future will study this as PBMs having that market advantage of being able to negotiate rebates and having that kickback exemption, because it's kickback.
Absolutely.
They use that like a club, and they use that to grow what a PBM is, and that market advantage has caused PBMs to morph into these huge conglomerates, because people say oh, the insurance company bought the PBM. It's kind of both ways there, because the PBM's their profit center.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so they've used that market advantage, and then the insurance companies pretty much purchased that market advantage, and now we have an entire conglomerate that they can shift profit centers.
Vertical integration.
Exactly, vertical integration. Profit centers are shifting. Of course, the study's coming out. The long-delayed study coming out from 3 Axis is going to open a lot of eyes.
Very smart people.
Very smart people.
Antonio
Shout out
Sacco.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Smart as a razor smart.
Oh yeah,
Razor sharp.
I talked to him the other day. Awesome guy. He's going out there and he's speaking the truth. And that's the thing is, Antonio, you can't think of him as just being on the side of pharmacy. He's on the side of truth and actually getting to the bottom of things. That's what I really want to nail home is we've been right the whole time. And that's one thing I love to spike the football on is these health economists who have all these years been you just don't understand, little pharmacists, assholes.
Yeah.
No, we've been right the entire time. We've called them out the entire time.
Exactly.
And then now they're just oh, well, this is just the way things are going. They act like we can be phased out because they don't understand healthcare. They don't understand the business.
Well, Antonio has real-world experience.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, West Virginia.
Yes.
He's got real experience. He's actually in Texas. He's doing some work.
Yeah.
Razor smart. Product that turned out. Truth.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's really shining the light on those onerous practices.
Yeah.
That those folks are.
And that's one thing I try to nail home is it's not good enough to be right anymore. We have to be right and have the right messaging. We have to resonate. And that's what I really want to drive home to all the pharmacists out there is, yes, if facts and figures and empirical evidence and everything would have won this war, we would have won it years ago. It's not going to. We have to get loud, we have to get out, we have to get involved, and we have to hammer this home. We have to have the right messaging, and we have to resonate.
Well, we need that grassroots component that you're
Yes.
talking about also, and that's where PUTT comes in. It's just a knowledge, coalesce people, put them together, capital, and tell that story.
Yes.
And that's critical. I would comment on our advocacy level.
Yes.
We have over 1,000 stores in 39 states. Advocacy offices in Washington, D.C., Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and Michigan, and looking for more states to drop our anchor in. But we're going where the independent community wants people that are highly motivated, organized in legislative and regulatory affairs, and our legal arm. You made mention early, or I heard you talking about our general counsel. Razor smart, where we're going to the attorney generals. We're seeking out the right people that can give us, hopefully, the positive answers we want. Try to bend this curve against the evil empire.
Exactly.
And I call them evil empire.
They are the evil empire.
Yeah.
Like, what you all do, I think AP is at the forefront. I wish all, like, buying groups and collectives and co-ops, I wish they all would do things at the level that you all do, because you all really are an inspiration.
Well, thank you.
I think that this is what everyone should model that after. And honestly, I think it's ridiculous that we haven't all merged into one big old buying group under AP, to be honest.
Well, I am not sure about all that. There's always those dynamics, but I'm fortunate that the board of directors here recognizes advocacy. The president of the organization supports it. We're running a very good, and I have been at it a long time. I spent 37 years with Hoffman LaRoche running their state government affairs program in this country. Retired and came right back to pharmacy and found a home again. So glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here.
No, thank you.
Michael, man, it's good to have you.
All right.
Thanks for having me here
Okay,
at
you
AP.
bet. Okay.
It's been a blast.
You bet. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Yo. Yeah. That was Michael Wright, head of American Pharmacies.
Hi, everybody. I'm just going to be speaking over Michael's shoulder here. Actually, it's just better if I do this. So, have you introduced Percy yet?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
It's the open bar reception, people. You're going to have to be a little patient. Hey!
This is Amy Hibbets, and she is a longtime PUTT member. We love her, and I just cannot wait for you to talk with her, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, Jeremy. Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Cheers, my dear. All right.
Cha-cha. Monique, I'm going to need another one of these bad boys.
Oh, we're not on yet?
Oh, we're going to do it. Oh, yeah, we're definitely
We are?
on.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about what you've been doing.
Okay, well, I've been a pharmacist for 22 years. I opened my store. We just had our 9th anniversary just on the 15th of this month.
Yeah.
So we've been fighting the hard fight. So
I mean, we all are.
We are
miserable right now. And
right.
people really don't understand, like, the stress of everything involved. Like, you go and you work your store and you're stressed out from that, and then you come back and it's, at the end of the day, you don't know if you have a viable store just because everything's been cut. And you have businesses that have been successful for years and have been doing well for years, and all of a sudden it's just cut out from under you. And entire pharmacy families right now are put in a position where, these are leaders of the community. These are people who have taken care of people forever, and they're all of a sudden just stuck and not knowing what to do. And I said it earlier, our healthcare infrastructure right now is crumbling.
It is, absolutely.
Have to do something about it.
Absolutely. So, and I can say from experience, my customers have no idea what's going on with the insurance, and they don't understand why we say we can't, we're out of stock for something, because we can't tell them we can't fill it because it's at a loss, because we could have a contract snatched out from under us.
See, I just tell them.
But I know. Well, and we have started, we have started doing that, because, what else are you to do, other than be we don't want to be labeled liars.
Yeah.
And that's what that's doing. If we do what they want us to do,
That's the thing is I straight up tell patients what's going on.
Right.
I say, this is why we can't fill it. This is what's going on in the industry. And it's actually caused some of my patients to learn about this and get more involved.
Right.
So it's been incredible as far as that. Like, I've had, patients join PUTT as patients.
Right.
It's really cool that happens.
Exactly.
They see what I'm doing. They appreciate my advocacy and everything else. And they appreciate what PUTT's doing, what I'm doing, what pharmacists all over are doing, because a lot of them do not realize what's went into it and what's happening to
Exactly.
us. And that's incredibly important.
Right.
And I feel like that's conversations that we need to have. I mean, they're hard conversations sometimes, but we have to, because we have to start putting this in our patients' hands a little bit.
Right.
Like, that's how I felt for a while now.
Right.
Plus, I'm really bad at lying, so
I am as well.
I just tell them.
Yeah. And we're doing that, for the people that we know and whatever, and then, it's truthful, and we just had to navigate that way because, it's bad, but,
yeah.
The way they do things, and especially Express Scripts, everything we feel is a loss as brand. Everything.
Yes.
And so the unfortunate thing with them is you cannot speak to someone like you and I are speaking.
Oh, no.
You have to email them, and then you don't get a response, or they could care less. So.
Oh, corpos aren't people.
I know they're not. They're
No,
not.
they're vampires.
Yes, I believe that.
Yes.
I could not agree more, Jeremy.
Oh yeah. I mean, they sit around and their entire business model is extracting value from the system instead of adding value to the system. At what point do we go, what's your fucking point of existing?
Right.
When do we kick them out? When do we completely eliminate the entire payer system? Because
Right.
they're not needed. They're a fossil.
Yes.
Like, they're antiquated. We don't need this kind of stuff, and we
Right.
can easily disrupt that system. I feel like we could go in, and they always talk about AI coming in and trying to take over what providers do. Fuck that. They
Yeah.
run a glorified spreadsheet. We don't
Right.
need them.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, but how about formularies? Cost-benefit analysis is not that hard when it comes to medication.
Right.
It is not that hard.
Right.
They act like they do all these important, awesome things to keep healthcare costs down, and they don't.
Right.
Like, costs are going up. They're not doing their job effectively,
Right.
and healthcare is getting worse. So,
Well,
at
I
what
would
point
love
do
to
we
be
say,
at the forefront of that, Jeremy,
Well.
going and helping do that, because I could not agree more.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
you're a
why
PUTT
I've been
member, so
exactly.
you've
I've
done it.
supported them because they tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot sugarcoat shit.
No, you can't.
So
That's what we're here for, and I think that's one reason that we resonate so well with pharmacists around the country. I think that's one reason that's happened. That's one reason, like, this podcast has
Right.
become so popular. Not even just in the independent pharmacy world. It's in the industry. I have people
Right.
come to me and talk to me about it. I think that's why it's resonating, is because people are tired of all of the corpo talk, and they're tired of
Exactly.
all the nonsense, when we can see plainly what's going on.
right, and we're just
right
trying to
here.
care for our communities and our
Yeah.
patients, and they're the ones that are dictating the health care that they get, the reimbursements that we get, and we're a lot of times forced to eat losses that are unfair, because we care so much about our patients that we want to be their advocate. But yeah, exactly. I mean,
they've got to the
we've
point
got to
where
get them
they-
to stand up, and
Yes.
somebody's got to make a stand somewhere, because this is unsustainable.
They've put us at odds with our own fucking patients.
Yes, they
That's
have.
ridiculous.
It is. We have to either lie to them or yes.
They
yeah.
come in the door, and, like, if you accept a new patient, you gotta, like, check
What
it out.
insurance do they have?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You gotta
because if
check
they've
out to
got a
see what's
bad
going on.
insurance, you have to say, well, we don't have it, or we don't take that insurance, or some kind of nonsense.
Oh yeah, and then they act like, of course, all the economists are like, well, the market will work itself out. This isn't a fucking market.
No, it's not.
This is
It's a
completely
takeover,
captured.
greedy. Yes.
It is
We could
completely
go on and
captured.
on about Express Scripts,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I know they're all like that, but they are really bad.
Yeah. Well, it's been awesome having you on.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'd love to come on again.
Hey,
So-
you're always welcome to come on. It makes me
Okay.
happy whenever people come up and do this.
Okay. All right, darling, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, darling.
Yeah.
Semper Fi, hoorah.
Hoorah!
Not sir, but I admire that.
Well, it was a long time ago, but I'm still proud of it.
That's right. Yeah, should I move over one?
Yeah, come on.
I don't want to sit too close to you.
No, you're good. Yo, introduce yourself to everyone. Tell us what you've been up to.
I'm currently a advisor on the American Pharmacies Board.
Yeah.
I spent 20 years building American Pharmacies as the president, and turned over the reins to Laird Lavoie,
Yeah.
and currently trying to keep the organization heading in the right direction.
Yeah. I love all the work you all do. Like, your shit is top level shit to me. Like, it's like American Pharmacies is awesome. Like this, I was saying earlier to Michael, this is the buying group that I think all buying groups should be modeled after. I think this is the buying group that should buy other buying groups at this point.
Well, we love to do that. When I started American Pharmacies, my previous life was 25 years in the field with wholesalers. I understand the business. I owe a lot to American Pharmacies members, and I'd like to give a whole lot back to them. That's what I created, a pharmacy that was membership owned, membership driven, and had their best interest in heart all the time.
Yes. It's incredible the work, and coming out and having fun with everyone here. Like, I've heard that Apex is the place to go to like meet everyone and have a good time in pharmacy. And coming here, I'm really glad I got to come this year, because I get to come and I get to talk to you all, have some drinks, listen to like people who are far smarter than me, like Miguel, tell me about things. And it hones you not only as a pharmacist, but also as an advocate. And I think that's important for pharmacists to do right now. I think that's important for all of us to start getting involved with, because we're in a fight, and we have to go out and we have to keep hammering them, and we can't relent until it's over, because they're not going to let up. They are just fine with all of us not existing.
Well, that's a big hoorah for me. Listen, I know we're in a big fight. We've always had advocacy as a high point in our organization. We started when we were farming up. We weren't the best economics in the nation, but we always put advocacy in our game plan, and that has secured a lot of members for us, because they know we're going to fight for their interests. And we're in the fight. We're in the fight in various states in this great United States, and we now moved our flag to Washington. And we're going to continue to do that and fight for pharmacies to succeed. And to do that, we're going to have to continue to wage that war.
Yeah, I think that's really what sets you all apart from other buying groups. Is other buying groups a lot of times are afraid to get involved and afraid to really push a lot of things as far as advocacy and legislatively and really do that. You all are not. You will stick your necks out and you will headbutt anyone to try to take up for us, and that is appreciated in so many ways.
Well, I give a lot of credit to our board.
Yeah.
They are insightful folks who know that we've got to have a presence there, willing to spend the money and the time and the energy to get the right people and the right, give them the right tools to do the job for us. And we're just starting in Washington, but I believe we're going to make a big splash.
Oh, you are. You're going to make a dent. You're going to go in, you're going to hammer it, and you're going to bust right through. I know you all. Like, you all are going to do that. Like, I admire everything that you have accomplished, what you're trying to accomplish, and I model a lot of what I do after what AP has done and tries to do. Like, you all are incredible. Like, this is, to me, the group of people who are the leaders of pharmacy and who are out there trying to do so good for us. You know, we have our organizations like us at PUTT and, you know, NCPA, and we've got our other organizations, and we're doing stuff. AP is, as a collective, it's on this level because there's so many actual stores involved, and there's actual like money flowing through things. Like there's an actual economic interest in what you all are doing, and there's weight behind that. That's what I think is important, and that's why I think it's really important for buying groups to do this kind of stuff, if that makes sense. Because whenever it's, you know, us out here, it's impactful and we can do that. But we are, you know, an advocacy group. People expect that. When a buying group is doing it, there's weight. I feel that there's weight. Other people see that and they feel that there's weight. And that's why I think what you're doing is so important.
Well, absolutely, and we encourage our members to get involved. We work at that on a yearly, annual basis to get our shareholders and members engaged with their representatives. We know it's important. They know it's important, and we give them the tools to talk to their representatives in a manner that is engaging and where they understand the difficulties we're having with the PBM industry. And I think that message is coming through. The winds are blowing in our direction. We have taken the momentum on these issues, and we've got a long ways to go, but we're not finished.
No, we're not. Like, we got to keep going, and we got a fight to do, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I appreciate everything you do, and it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So, speaking of which, advocacy, NCPA just came out with their new Finish the Fight campaign to go against the PBMs, the legislative effort. Give me 1 second. And it has been really good. They gave us a preview of it the other day, and it was pretty like eye-opening. They're actually getting more aggressive with things and starting to target things more in your face, like stuff I've been wanting to see them do for a while. And I'm going to go ahead and just like share this video with you all. Like, this is their new advertisement that's coming out.
Doc, I'm not feeling well. These prescription costs, they're killing me.
I've been seeing a lot of this lately. Let's take a look. Oh, it's worse than I thought. PBM leeches are sucking you dry.
Pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, act as parasitic middlemen, inflating the prices you pay for medicine. Don't let drug middlemen drain both you and our healthcare system. Tell Congress to act now and help stop PBMs from leeching onto your wallet.
This is a problem.
Like, that's a really good one. They've got some more stuff coming out, and we are going to be doing a few things, especially as far as grassroots, trying to target lawmakers, especially if lawmakers are holding up pharmacy important bills. We're going to be doing a lot of things in the future to try to hammer this home. And it's like I said earlier, a lot of this fight is about messaging now, and having effective advertising and having effective marketing and having a message that resonates is just as important as being right now, because they have been dominating this war for years. And it's not because that they're right or saving anyone else money. It's because they have a ton of power and they know how to frame things. So this is important for us to try to do. But hey, welcome back.
Thank you. Did you know that today is National Bourbon Day?
I did not. Well, happy National Bourbon Day.
And we have, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, a bourbon expert here to talk about his favorite thing, right?
Talking about bourbon, or are we talking about pharmacy?
We're going to talk about bourbon, and we're going to talk about pharmacy, because the things go hand in hand. So I'm going to step out of the way, but I'm going to introduce Ryan Guevara from American Pharmacies. And please, please, please talk to us about bourbon first, and then we'll talk about pharmacy. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way. Here you go.
What's up, Ryan? It's good to meet you. Yo!
Hey, Jimmy.
Come on in, brother.
All right.
Yo. So tell me, what's your go-to right now?
So Garrison Brothers is where I live.
You like Garrison Brothers?
Texas guy.
Yeah.
We're 45 minutes away from Garrison Brothers, so we're kind of do brand ambassador stuff for them. So we spend tons of time with them. They give us a lot of whiskey to drink. We're more than happy to take it. They do tons of great events. They take care of veterans like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Very supportive of local organizations. So, love our Garrison Brothers. Outside of that, I'd like to just open it up. I'm not that it has to be from Kentucky or it's not bourbon. I like anything and everything. They always ask me what's my favorite bourbon. It's usually the one that's in my hand.
Yeah.
Or the bottle that somebody just gave me. That's what we're going with. Yep.
Do you have a particular go-to, like your fallback? Like me, if I'm sitting around drinking, like I don't want something full flavored and that's gonna give me a hangover or anything. Like I'll go to straight like Jameson on the rocks, and I know I'm not gonna get a hangover the next day and get there. But if I'm actually looking for like my favorite or whatever, my favorite was actually given to me by my friend Marnie for my wedding. It was like a Bunnahabhain 21-year Scotch, and it was fucking fantastic.
Wow. Yeah.
It was really, really good.
I love Booker's. Love to drink out of Booker's, Knob Creek, 1792 full proof. I like it over 120. I like the higher proofs.
Yeah.
My wife and I actually just picked a barrel at Garrison Brothers. We have 47 bottles heading our way at 145.5. So we've got a good surplus heading towards our direction.
Surplus? You got a month.
Maybe.
Yeah. So tell me what you've been up to lately.
I'm the senior vice president for American Pharmacies. Started out in pharmacy when I was 16.
Yeah.
9 years in independent retail. Went to work for AmerisourceBergen for about 12 years, and then I've been over here going on my 14th year.
Yeah.
All I'm doing, we're actually in the middle of kind of a reorganization with our sales team, designing it better so that our guys can get out into the field and get more interaction with the customer right now. Because when we sat back and started looking at it, what does the customer need more than anything right now? And they need our attention, they need communication, we've got this entire vendor floor full of vendors that can bring value to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys we're working with on a one-on-one basis and doing webinars with our customers and getting them in front of all these vendors so that they can benefit from the opportunities that are out there for them.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it, and of course, you can't continue to try to fill and bill and live in this world.
Yeah.
You got to, it's going to take the pharmacies away if that's where you think it can be. You've got to diversify. You got to get into compounding, medical at home. We use GeriMed as our LTC vendor. So any other profit area that we can point them towards to help them out.
Yeah, and that's what we got to do right now. That's one of the things is like, I try to hammer home, especially to lawmakers, to regulators, to pharmacists, like we can't keep relying on the next new, latest and greatest side hustlers. They're awesome, and we have to do that right now. That should be extra income for us.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous, like the state that we're in, that we have to keep doing that because and that's why I love AP so much, is you all go out and you do focus on advocacy and you do focus on trying to get reimbursement right, and you do focus on lawmakers and you do focus on regulators.
Well, and that's the thing, that there's so much more to this as being a buying group. You cannot just sit there and bring in a piece of paper and say, this is your cost of goods, I'm going to save your pharmacy, because that's not going to do it.
No, it's
not. You
not.
have to get in front of those legislators, like you said, and make a difference.
And I was actually talking about this earlier about how important that I thought AP standing up and doing this is. Because we do stuff, and we're an advocacy group. We're supposed to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But having our buying group stand up and do this, that to me has weight behind it, and I think it's incredibly important.
And the other thing, like I said, we've got Representative Buddy Carter coming in tomorrow to do our keynote speaking. We've got a luncheon with him. We went into Washington, I think, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We moved into Washington, worked with a group up there, Roberta Global, and it's just been a game changer for us.
Yeah.
I mean, all the doors that they've helped open, that our guys are great pharmacists that can speak on a language that they can understand it. You're not going to come in, and on top of that, you don't walk in with problems. You walk in with solutions to problems because your legislator can't solve this. That's not their world. That's not what they do.
No.
You bring solutions to problems, and it makes a difference.
And honestly, I've got to the point they're so vertically integrated that they can move profit centers. Legislation is one thing that we have to focus on and we have to do, but we can't expect that to solve everything right now because they can go in and they can say, oh, PBMs can't do this or that. They're just going to do something else.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get laws on the books, and they really need to focus on reimbursement and making sure that there's a base level there. And we have to try to regulate these PBMs for the overall industry. But another thing that we have to do, we have to try to go in and try to bring in market-based solutions. We have to try to go in and we have to try to break these companies up with what the FTC is doing. And every pharmacist out there should stick their necks out and do whatever they have to get data to the FTC and the DOJ right now. Because it is incredibly important, because if we don't try to break these companies up and we don't try to go after them with, hey, here's a market-based solution or anything else, we're not going to win this fight, because this fight is on so many different fronts.
Yeah, I was talking to my sister today, and she's at the conference for the first time. She works for a computer company. So she was asking me, she was like, so explain to me what's going on here. And I was explaining to her about CVS and Caremark and the fact that they basically own each other and support each other and cut out the independent pharmacy to support their business. She goes, why isn't that illegal? I said, exactly. It's perfectly clear. She knew nothing about our organization. 5 minutes later, she goes, that should be illegal.
See, here's the thing is, it is. Like, if we enforce the actual laws on the books, it would be.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think the FTC and what they're doing right now, they're even talking about bringing back the Robinson-Patman Act. If they brought that back, do you know what we could do as far as going at wholesalers or going at the PBMs and the insurance companies? We could get pricing parity across the board.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. There's so much coming up, and I think that's one reason they're trying to fucking murder us right now, is they know that the hammer's coming down, and they're trying to get us out.
Yeah, I get it. All right.
Jerry.
I'm got to get out in the field, go out here and see all of our wonderful guests.
Go schmooze.
I absolutely
Go drink.
appreciate it, Jeremy.
A pleasure.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Yo. Hey, Jerry.
Great Panthers.
Yeah, great Panthers. Come on, brother.
What are we talking about?
Yo, if y'all haven't met Jerry yet, Jerry's on our board. He's one of my favorite people on this earth. You talk about bringing some gems out of nowhere. Jerry's really good at it. We were at lunch today, and we were talking about advocacy. We're like, how do we get people more involved? And Jerry's just like, well, we'll do the Gray Panthers. We're like, the fuck is the Gray Panthers, Jerry? And he was like, oh, let me tell you. He dropped in. There are Gray Panthers groups all across the United States of pretty much angry senior citizens that will go out and advocate for things. It's awesome.
That's a great description, because the Gray Panthers are great believers in advocacy, and they have a situation where they're not getting their medicine, so it'll be an ideal combination.
Exactly. Like, it's awesome. He drops these gems all the time. Like, he'll just be sitting, like, we'll be in like our meetings or whatever, and Jerry will be there, and like I could see it in your eyes sometimes. Sometimes you're quiet, and then I can see, like, you'll do this shift or something. You'll get this look, and I know you're about to drop something. And it's amazing gems like that. We're like, fuck, Jerry, why didn't you tell us about that 2 years ago? It is awesome.
Sometimes it takes a special person like you to bring those gems out.
That's true. I am a very special boy. My mother told me that forever, and I believe it. It's pretty awesome. I hope I fill my daughter with the nonsensical confidence I was filled with, that she can say the same thing.
Well, hey, you only hope for your kids that they do better than you do.
Yes, I hope she does a lot better than I do.
She doesn't have to deal with PBMs or...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, if she wants to go into healthcare, I'm going to be like, no, child, not until we get this right. And hopefully by that time we will have it right.
She could be a nurse practitioner.
Yeah, she could be an NP. They got all the shit now. They got the best lobbying ever.
Hey, I worked with quite a few when I was practicing, so they do a good job.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I think we can keep like doing and like get our advocacy out there, get our pushes, because we got so much things going on behind the scenes that we can't even talk about. And it's really annoying that we can't. But one day we're gonna spike the football, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh shit, y'all were doing that the whole time."
Well, I think besides the Gray Panthers, we ought to look at the Farm Bureau. I told you that for too.
Yeah. Farm Bureau is a good way to go.
There's a lot of family farmers that are suffering terribly like we are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we need to ally with these people. And, I mean, I think we need to, like, unions in the past have been really pro-industry as far as insurance industry, because they, like a lot of the big employers, they think they're getting these big old sweetheart deals. Look at all this money we've saved you. They're starting to wake up and realize none of those fucking numbers are real. They're not real. Like, they don't exist. AWP's not a real number. Well, do you know how AWP said? I just found this out the other day. Whenever they upload it to the database, they set their own AWP.
Oh, sure.
And we're using this as a metric? Oh my God.
I have another story for you, if I may.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago, probably about 5 years ago, I had a customer come in who had switched to mail order, and he was getting brand name Synthroid. And he said, look, my mail didn't come. The company said I could come down here and you'd fill it for $100.
Yeah.
I says, okay, I'm doing you a favor, don't forget that. Because I'm not going to make much money on this, I know that.
Exactly.
So I go to fill the prescription, and it says wrong NDC number.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'm looking at the bottle, and I says, this is the right NDC number. And then the person from the PBM gets me on the phone and says, try this number.
Yep.
And I says, well, what is that number? Oh, that's a repackaging number.
Yep. Yep, they like to push this whole, oh, no, don't do this NDC, do this NDC, because they might actually owe us money if we run a certain NDC.
Well, if we use their NDC.
Yeah, and they're going to make a fortune on it while we, die.
No, we would make money.
Yeah, amazing how... what's making money like, Jerry? You were a pharmacist back in the day, like the heyday, like the real day when the pharmacy was a really good business.
I hate to be a bad example, but my life was dedicated to taking care of people.
Yeah.
And I figured out early on that being a wealthy person was not in the cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was more important for me to help my patients.
Yeah.
And the crowning achievement of my life, I can say, was right after the Rodney King riots.
Yeah.
And my patients lost all their power in South Central LA. So that weekend, I went to Smart and Final. I picked up tons of food. My neighbor was in the produce business. He brought me several cases of apples. And Monday morning, we put 75 bags of food together. And when the guys went out, the patient said, we'll give you money. Can you go to a market outside of our area that didn't get shut down or burnt out? And he says, no, ma'am, here's your food, courtesy of Uptown. And I got a letter that made it all, they say it's never wrong to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it is never wrong. Those are the kind of kudos you get that are not expected, but so worthwhile.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, is like, I think a lot of people, what they don't get is like, I'm okay not like making a fortune. I don't care about being rich. It's one of these things. I went into pharmacy because it was a good profession. I could have a good middle class lifestyle being an owner, and I could take care of my community, and that's really all I wanted. And now the PBMs have come in and they've put us at odds with our patients. They've made our business get to the point where it's basically not viable in a lot of situations. And how are we supposed to take care of people when it's like that? We have to eyeball every patient that comes in needing a prescription because it might cost us money, we're investing in their health. That's okay. I want to take care of people on a certain level, but we have to exist
in order to take care of them.
How am I going to take care of people whenever we're hemorrhaging money?
You got to put the key in the door. You ain't going to be taking care of anybody.
Exactly. None of it makes sense. So we've got to keep going. We've got to keep plugging at it, and we've got to bring the hammer down on them, Jerry. And the time is right now.
I agree with you.
Has there ever been a situation where it's come to a head this much in the industry in your experience? Because it feels like stuff's going on. I was telling Monique this the other day. 5 years ago, if I looked at what we're doing at PUTT right now and what the legislators actually knowing what a PBM is at this level and everyone talking about it, that was unthinkable 5 years ago. It really feels like things are happening right now.
Yes and no.
Yes.
I don't think they want to know.
You said what?
I don't think they want to know.
Oh, no. That's what I tell people is, yes, money. A lot of times, messaging is important because a lot of times the lawmakers just need an excuse to look away. It don't have to be true. They just need an excuse to look away. And they, the conglomerates understand that.
But the key is you bring your advocacy groups with you to the lawmakers.
Yes.
They got to look at their constituents who are in need, and they look at you in a whole different light because you're not being self-serving.
Yes.
You're trying to help your fellow man. Hard to turn away from that.
It is, but they do.
Not if enough come.
Exactly. That's why it's important to get your patients out, get us out. Go and confront your lawmakers at dinner. Interrupt their dinner. Go on. If someone is standing in the way of PBM reform or someone is keeping a bill from coming out of committee, you find where they eat. You find where they eat and you go there and you tell them a very long-winded story while they're trying to eat about your patients and how hard it is for your patients right now to get medication. And then you know what you do? You do it again the following week. And every week you make sure to either you do that or someone else do it. And if that keeps happening, they will not take those few $1,000s of campaign contributions that they're going to get.
I think if you get the patients to do that.
Oh yeah.
That's the hammer.
Oh, that's the hammer. They don't even have to be real patients.
You can soften them up.
Yeah. You know what I do? I would start hiring actors to come in and annoy lawmakers.
They do it on TV.
This is my disabled great-grandmother. Have them make up the most ridiculous story and just tell the story for 30 minutes to a lawmaker, because if a lawmaker's at dinner, they're a captive audience because they're in front of a bunch of people.
And you get a reporter there.
Yeah, get a reporter there.
At the same time, and the guy.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh man. You really. Yeah. That's how you really make them uncomfortable. That's what we have to do. We have to be petty people. We have to be petty and creative.
Very creative. Anyway, thank you for letting me speak
Jerry.
to you. It was my pleasure.
Hey, it's always a pleasure.
Nice
Appreciate
to
you, brother.
meet you.
I know. It's good seeing you, man. I got you. Hey, Miguel's coming on. Oh, wow.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Miguel.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yo. I'm actually just now getting news. NCPA's new, wow. Yeah, their new advertising campaign, Karen Lynch actually responded to it. So I'm going to play it for you all. I'm sorry, Miguel. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Here, let me give you the headphones.
That'll help.
Let me see if they're playing through. What?
Would you guys like a picture together?
Yeah, here in a second. I'd love a picture together.
All right.
But yeah, let me see if this works. I didn't get to run through sound check earlier because we were so behind. So, hey, I'm just a Jeremy doing Jeremy things. Oh, I've not played it yet. All right, everyone. This is Karen Lynch's response.
Hello, I'm Karen Lynch, CEO of CVS Health. I'm here today to address concerns that I and my company are out of touch. This is completely false. When I'm not taking up space, I enjoy sports ball and abusing the elderly just as much as the next person. People simply do not understand what our mission at CVS Health is, which is to drain as much from the system as possible. I've been called a corporate vampire who drinks the blood of orphans, but that is just ridiculous. There is no blood drinking. I have that blood infused each morning to stay youthful and fresh. I'm incredibly proud of what we do here at CVS Health, and I sleep well knowing that I not only made $60,000 that day, but that Satan himself is scared shitless of me. I know. He works in our prior authorizations department. So the next time you or your loved one are denied coverage for a life-saving medication, please remember that without your sacrifice, my pet tiger would not have a diamond-encrusted collar.
All right. Yeah, I couldn't hear it either, so I had to guess. But no, it's one of those things. That was a very real statement from Karen Lynch, everyone. Very real. Yeah. We had our picture taken. Apex is wild, y'all. It's a lot of fun. Actually, I can go ahead and give you all the view. Cocktail hours, having fun. But yeah, hey Miguel, you gave a great presentation earlier.
Thanks so much. I love doing it.
Yeah, I just had a very real response from Karen Lynch, and you said, oh yeah, I just had a very real response from Karen Lynch about NCPA's campaign, and according to Karen Lynch, she does not actually drink the blood of orphans. She just has it infused every morning. She's not a vampire.
Okay.
Thank you. But yes, I'll show it to you later. I'm sorry you could hear it. It was a thing that I made not too long ago, and Emily freaked out over it because it's really good. And I was like, she's like, Jeremy, you better run it by the lawyers. And I went, okay.
Oh,
this is one of our lawyers. Yeah, I didn't run it by him
as
yet.
a lawyer, that scares me already. Yeah, usually when someone says run it by your lawyers, then yeah, you need to watch out twice.
Satire's fine,
except for you. Yeah, well. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys came to this conference,
Dude,
and
I'm
we're
so
having a
glad
great
you're
time.
here. Dude, being able to meet you, like, you're one of the people, like, I don't listen to many people. Like, I don't give a shit about a lot of people's opinions. You're one of the people, like, when you talk, I listen. Like, for real. Like, what you're doing right now is incredible, and the way you break things down is awesome. Your presentation earlier was eye-opening. Even for me, like, I track these things, and I really appreciate it, especially the district court breakdown that you did. Like, little things like that, like having it in visuals and kind of going over it is impactful and sticks with you. And that was something that I really like because, like, we all think that we're keeping up with things, but we can always learn more. And I learn something every day because of people like Miguel.
Yeah, I really appreciate that and appreciate what you do. And I'm so excited because one of the things I talked about this early afternoon, was the Mulready case. It's a 10th Circuit case that the Oklahoma's appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And just today, just hours ago, really, American Pharmacies, joined by NCPA, APHA, OPHA, NACDS, we filed a joint brief to the U.S. Supreme Court to ask them to hear that super important case. We need clarity in this space.
Yes.
We need to unbreak the logjam around the country on these issues.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy that we were able to get that part accomplished. Now we just need the court to do their next step.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where we go in, and even though we pass laws, it's like you were saying earlier, departments of insurance, just depending on what state they're in and who's running them, we can give them that authority. It's an entirely different issue to have them actually exercise it. Like it's a mess, and it's hard to hammer down, and that's why you keeping up with this and you keeping us informed of it and keeping track of it's so important, because there are strategies within strategies within strategies with this stuff, and we have to know where it's going wrong, why it's going wrong, and what we can do in the future to try to hammer down on it. And you breaking it down for everyone was really cool.
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And so every state's a little bit different, and just trying your best to get to know whatever state you're in, how it works, and where the problem lies. You just got to get really close to it, and comfortably close, and try to get your voice heard. And so we're doing what we can, and I know you guys, I think collectively as we're around the country, we got a lot of people doing a lot of good stuff, and collectively we're going to make a difference. I'm feeling it.
We really are. It feels like everything has come to a head, because I was talking about this earlier. Look where we were 5 years ago. If we would have said all the lawmakers know what a PBM is, that would have been astounding to us 5 years ago. We've come so far, and it's because of all the work that you have done, all the work that the people at AP has done, all the work that PUTT has done, all the work that all of us at Advocacy have done. And it's one of those things that I feel like we should celebrate the fact that we've got this far, but we can't celebrate too much because we got so much more work to do.
Yeah, well, this job is never going to end. That's where I hope everyone's figuring out is after many years of not really being that involved in the fight for a big part, and letting the industry pass us by. Yeah. I think we've started finally to activate this huge, powerful group of independent pharmacy. What a tremendous community to be a part of. They employ local folks in the local town. They are part of the community. They're so well respected, and that's exactly the type of constituent that our elected representatives want to hear from. Yeah. And they're pharmacy owners VIPs to the elected representatives. So that we got to tap into that power and really utilize it. And I think if we catch up, I think we're starting to catch up with the PBMs, and now we just got to maintain that level of activism and just not stop. We're never going to need it. We can never stop.
We can't stop, and that's one thing I hammer home. I actually wrote a recent article that's coming out here in the next little bit, and one thing that I said in it, I talk a lot about messaging and knowing that, in your messaging that facts and reality aren't going to win this. It's we really got to hammer these things home with the right framing and something that resonates. But also, when we win the fight, and we're going to fucking win, when we win the fight, we can't be complacent, because I think the line I used is, once we slay these vampires, we got to make sure they stay in their coffins, because they're going to come back.
Yeah.
And they're not going to quit, because it's a lot of money. They make a lot of money. They are European countries unto themselves. They are states.
Yeah.
They're huge.
There's too much money at stake.
There's too much.
And so, they'll never quit until they try to get as much of that as possible. And the patients are suffering as a result. The communities are suffering. I mean, so many different communities. But that is actually, they're so bad now that they're creating allies for us in all sorts of parts of constituencies we don't really haven't tapped into before, community oncologists. A lot of different practice areas are being affected by PBMs. A lot of patients, all sorts of patient groups that are being impacted.
The rheumatologists love us because they're getting killed right now.
Yes, absolutely. The rheumatologists, they're related to a group that we had an amicus brief on the Weeby case. The
shout out Arthritis Center.
Yeah, it was a ATAP. And they're a great organization too that's trying to bring some of these practices to light. And these are great allies to have.
Yeah.
The more allies we have, the better. And we got to keep building those relationships more and more and utilizing them all across the country.
Yeah, we do. It's important. It's something that we need to do. And your work is important. And I admire you. And it's an honor to meet you, my friend.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you guys. I love the whole team here. You and Monique and Deb and Brandy and the whole group is just a really fired up. And it's a fun group too. I mean, it's just it's an amazing fun time we have all the time.
About. I'm not fun at all.
I don't know. That's the best thing about it is we're doing good and we're having a lot of fun doing it. And so it's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, dude, it's always a blast. I love it whenever you come on PBM on the Rocks and do your stuff. Sometimes you're shy though, and I don't understand it because you're one of the smartest people in the room all the time. And you're kind of shy on PBM on the Rocks, and I gotta coach you sometimes.
Well, I frankly, I mean, I've been on PBM on the Rocks twice, and I think it's going to take me maybe another couple of visits before I really figure out the Jeremy style. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
You're fun. And you're someone I admire, so you're always welcome. It's one of those things we're also going to, I think in the future, just give out codes to certain people where even if they're not the guest, they could just pop in and just surprise us. I really want that kind of environment where it's we're all hanging out at the bar and holy shit, here comes Miguel. That's what I kind of want to do.
I want to toast to our first in-person drink.
Yeah.
We've had them online, but this is virtually. This is the first in-person drink. So, cheers,
to you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. All right, y'all. It is a fun one. We're now 13 minutes in. Thank you to the 200 people watching right now. Yo!
What's going on?
Hi. Not much. So, hi, I'm Jeremy. I've not met you yet.
I have not met you either, Jeremy. It's nice to meet you. Austin.
Good to meet you, brother. Austin. Tell me about what you do, Austin.
I'm a pharmacist from Michigan.
Nice.
We own a couple of stores up there.
Wait, what's your full name?
Austin Brown.
I've heard of you, Austin.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
Put a face to
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
But, no, so pharmacy up in Michigan. We work, there's about 100 of us total, pharmacists, technicians, durable, DME.
Scoot in a little bit.
Yeah, just all that kind of stuff, and just fighting the fight like everybody else. Man. It's ridiculous.
Fucking fight, brother.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
man.
so that's stupid. I gotta go in every single day, and I gotta be I hope I don't lose money.
What do you mean hope?
Yeah, I hope I don't lose
a lot of money. Right.
We're just at this point where it's lawmakers, regulators, do you want us to fucking exist or not? If you're gonna let us die, then at least kill us quickly. We're lamenting.
Yeah, well, and there's two ways to think about that. Because eventually, if you tie it to just a product, yes, eventually it's you want to go fast or slow. You can go out of business two ways: fast or slow. So it's forced to pivot, and I think it's forced a lot of looking at things differently in terms of how you would position a business, but it's still just the freaking dumbest thing in terms of just
dumb.
There's no other
side hustles to stay afloat.
Well, that's just it. It's just we're professional side gig people now, but that's just it. It's there's not another business model that works this way. It just doesn't. It mathematically, financially makes zero sense. What did you think was going to happen? And so now
what happened was they gave a fucking financial instrument a huge market advantage with a kickback. They gave a kickback exemption, and they were like, "Oh shit!" Well, and then it's evolved into this to where that kickback exemption got bought by insurance companies, and this is vertically integrated monster, and we're like, what do you want us to do? And they're well, the market will take care of it. You can negotiate. How the fuck do we negotiate?
No, it won't.
That? You can't negotiate with that.
You can't. Well, your contracts are take and relieve it. How are you supposed to negotiate it? Yeah. So that whole part's ridiculous. But
I mean, it's with small countries. They're huge. They have so much money.
Yeah, it's
he's
ridiculous.
Negotiate with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, So things are great.
Things are great.
But other than that, I mean, I'm having a great time. But no, I mean, it is, all bullshit aside, it is fun to like have to go through a creative process. How do you reimagine a profession? How do you make something better? How do you drive the value proposition differently?
Yeah.
All the people in this room, I think, are really dedicated to that. I know that PUTT is dedicated to that, and so it's cool to see the movers and the shakers, and it's heading in the right direction.
AP's
so,
a blast.
Yeah.
I like coming here, meeting like you all, doing this to it, and it's like, it's good to like put faces behind like names you hear a lot of times in the industry, because not everyone goes out like me, like an idiot, and this podcast just like put a target on their back. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and we appreciate you for that, man. Yeah, 'cause we're like, hey, he said it out. Yeah, I didn't do shit. I don't even know that guy.
It's one of those things where it's like, we have to though. Like, we got to start. Like, we stick our necks out. We do all of this because it is impossible not to now. They've put us in this position.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in this position. I just wanted to have like this small pharmacy and like be someone who donates to Virginia Tech's football team. Like,
why would you ever do that?
You know, I was really happy, and then all of a sudden it was like, how dare you make money? Oh, okay,
yeah,
I guess I won't.
Excuse me. Sorry, I was just trying to, contribute to society. Yeah. But, so Virginia Tech, that's who you donate to, really?
Yeah, dude, I live in Blacksburg. I'm
okay.
I went to school there.
Oh, okay, well. Hey, nobody's perfect.
Really? He said, fucking really?
I had to.
From Virginia.
I had to, man. I had to. Well, hey. It was a pleasure.
I'm
Michigan. I went to Michigan.
You're
dude.
like my friend Paul. He's actually on
my wife. That's how my
podcast.
My wife and I met at our P1 bar crawl.
Well, what you're wearing, I would have said Michigan State.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm disgusting.
Yeah, I'm undercover. I'm undercover. Well, thank you so much for having me, man.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate it. You
awesome.
Too. Yeah, we'll catch you again next time.
Hey.
And
go mingle, man.
Yep.
Go have a blast.
Yep. I'll catch you out there. We'll do it again, and keep fighting a good fight. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. So hey, it's a good day. Hi.
Hi. How are you? My name's Casey.
Hey.
I'm actually a P4 student at High School Pharmacy.
Oh yeah. Come sit down.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, it's okay.
Come over. No, sit down, random pharmacy student who came to talk to me. This is what PBM on the Rocks is. Come around. Say hello to the 200 live listeners.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to Texas.
So tell me, Casey, student, tell me.
We need to fix PBMs,
Yeah,
or they
fuck
need to
'em.
be removed. The big thing right now in terms of Texas law is we're trying to get more or keep our retainment for vaccinations. So right now we're trying to fight that to get that reviewed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very big thing. I don't know if y'all have heard of it or...
Are pharmacy students right now starting to get more involved with advocacy?
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't mean like APHA making everyone become a member and not doing shit for anyone ever. APHA, fuck you.
No.
I mean, like, really advocacy.
Oh, no. In terms of advocacy,
Shout out Angry Pharmacists. I love that one.
We actually do have a program where we do like a day at the Capitol. And we actually do send students to the Capitol, actually meet their state legislators and know who they are and actually interact with them. So that's a good thing.
It's important to get advocacy in as soon as possible. And I'm glad that you did that. Hey, do you follow us at PUTT or anything?
No, I don't have social
No,
media.
you don't know us yet? No, I mean PUTT, the organization. Like, this is what we do.
Oh,
well,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, this is what we do. This is a pharmacy student, Monique.
Hi, hello. My name's Casey. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
We're the people who actually do things.
Oh.
We're excited about the future of pharmacy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Another
We're
thing.
going to try to make it to where you're not in a dying profession. We're going to do our best. Unlike APHA.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Yeah. All right, everybody. You gonna do what? Oh, okay. We're doing 2 at once. Oh, okay. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good to meet you.
Logan,
I heard you play, my brother.
Sure do, my friend.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So you're a guitarist?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Vocalist as well for that band. We got 2 vocals in it. So my buddy Colton, he runs it as well.
That's cool. Like, what do you all play? What's your style?
So we're like just rock and roll, straight up. It's
Rock
kind
and
of
roll?
Like a southern
Good evening,
alternative
sir.
rock and roll. So
Yeah.
We both came in with our business cards.
You did what?
We both came in with our business cards.
Oh, well, why not?
Like father, like son.
Laird, straight up, you are a fucking rock star, and it doesn't make me, like, I'm not surprised that you gave birth to another one, if that makes sense. Like, your dad is like a legend. You being a guitarist is cool as shit, because I used to be a musician, and then I went to pharmacy school.
I heard that.
Yeah, I was a poli-sci major, and I was oh yeah, good. I was a poli-sci major, and I was a musician, and we were doing all right, but we were in the middle of nowhere. There's not much you can do in the middle of nowhere. Like, we got to open up for Mudvayne once, so that was pretty fucking cool. But I mean, that was the extent of my.
Control the major.
Oh, that was
Hey, sorry about that. Sorry. Get your feet off there.
You could never look like
Are you gonna wear these so you can hear? Oh,
I can
Test
well,
that.
yeah, I can hear. Do you need them?
I'm gonna try without them. I don't want to wear
Well,
them.
you got your hearing aids.
I do.
I didn't know we were going 2 mics. Let me turn it
This
on.
hearing aids up.
You can do that on your phone.
Yeah, you know, ever since I started taking those anti-testosterone.
All right, microphone's on now. All right, we're good. Let's turn that noise gate up.
Thank you. Brought that up yesterday, so thank you very much. I was a little stressed about it.
All right, your microphone's on now. We're good.
Awesome.
I'm actually gonna also turn on my
These are
focus right. Here later, before we go off, I want to get Miguel back over to hear the Karen Lynch video I made. He reacted to Tom as
There's all a misunderstanding.
Oh, wait, I gotta show you later, like the video I made of Karen Lynch. It was her doing a commercial in response to people calling her a vampire. It's really good. But yeah, hey guys! Hey, this is fun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cocktail hour is awesome.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers.
So,
To the good life.
to the good life.
I guess we should hold these up here while we're speaking, huh? Get them a little closer. Yeah, make sure you're talking into it. All right. Oh, yeah. There we go.
What's the name of your band?
Yes, sir. Thank you for asking. Set the people. SAID. Thanks for getting that. We got a QR code on the back as well. It's nice. Easy to get her going. So, yes, sir.
Very cool. All right, y'all. How's your day been?
How's your day been?
It's been outstanding. I've been around the greatest leaders in our industry.
That's right.
Everybody with an unbelievable cause that's turned into a fantastic purpose. It's manifested into an unbelievable passion.
Yeah.
We're taking care of business every day.
Yeah. Dude, I love what you all do. Like, full on, like, you all put your balls on the table and you all stick your necks out. And that's what, like, buying groups and everyone else should be. Like, this is what we all need to do. Like, I put myself out there, like, personally, professionally, all the time. And to see other people doing that, other groups doing that, it means a lot to me, personally. I know it means a lot to, like, other pharmacists and other people that are fighting this fight, because it's a fucking war. And we got to start treating it like a goddamn war, because it's a war. And people are not seeing it that way. And people who think that we can, like, work with these entities that are trying to destroy us, we can't. And we can't have that mentality. Maybe eventually one day we can. We can't do that right now. We have to go in with a full-on, this is war mentality, or we're not going to actually win the fight. Like, that's the way I've always seen it. And you all, and the way that you all do things, it's inspirational to me, because you have the weight of actual pharmacies behind you. Don't get me wrong, us, other organizations, we're out there as advocacy, that's what we're supposed to do. But seeing buying groups like AP come out and do advocacy, that is a certain level to me, and it has weight to it, and it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to other people. Because I think you all should be the buying group and the people to actually come in or be the model of what everyone else is doing. Yeah, I think you should run all the indies the way it is. That's how I see it. But
we're an organization based on leadership, honor, integrity, vision, and a robust willingness to act. We've been really good at talk about it. We're not really anti-flash all substance people. We're taking care of business methodically, whether we get attention or not. Because that's what it takes. And we're taking the totality of the behavior of what's been lost to these PBMs, to what they do as an organization, their missteps. We're looking at them all the way across the board, and we're exploiting their own arrogance against them. We're going to make a difference there. We are making a difference every single day. You got to be targeted, you got to be focused, you got to be committed.
yeah, we got to take these core program hires down. That's what we need to do. That is the message we need. That's the mentality we need. That's how we go forth. Because we're not going to sit around and we can't just like mess around. We can't pussyfoot over all this shit. We can't act like they aren't the enemy. We have to go in and we have to hammer them at every turn. And we have to bring attention to it. And you talk about like you're going to do it no matter what if you're not getting attention. You do your fucking thing. I'm going to do everything I can to bring attention to it. I will dress like fucking Prince meets Austin Powers to do so.
We don't have time for people to talk about what they're going to do. They're town criers. You got to get in the arena.
Get in.
And there's a reason why Representative Buddy Carter's not here tomorrow, because we've invested in him and we've been there the whole time. We're meticulous and we're quiet and we're taking care of business every day incrementally. And we're watching this and we're figuring this out, just like Sam Houston did after the Alamo fell. He needed a superior force that had all the resources, all the ammunition, all the experience. He did them because they were sleeping and they were arrogant.
Yep.
That's my role model.
Larry David, they said I would love you even more, and they were not underselling you. Yeah, I like the style down here. Yeah, San Antonio has been fun so far. I get to get drunk and meet everyone here, so it's been awesome. I do need to go by Alamo. I'm not gonna go yet.
You can come to my show, but we'll see the Alamos right there.
Yeah.
On the stage. You need to slow down, brother. You're getting buried.
Oh, no, not even close. I'm not even begun to be in. Trust me.
It's like every test, you do the DNA test. It's celebrating Father's Day.
That's right. Father's Day is coming up. We're going to find out. I mean, you keep telling everybody that, you had to adopt Lexi. Or you went to adopt Lexi because you wanted her, but it was a 2-for-1 no choice deal. Yeah. Said I was cuter in the cage. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, your band rolling out, where are you all playing coming up next?
Sure. Thanks for asking. So we're based out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's myself. I'm Logan Lavoie, my buddy Colton Lane, and Dalton Walters right now. He's on drums. And we've been playing DFW for a while now. We started Denton, grew from there. Went in DFW with Arlington as well. Grew through that. We just performed at So What Music Festival with Skillet, Switchfoot, Devil Wears Prada, tons of awesome bands. Norma Jean, love Norma Jean. So it's cool, man. It's awesome. It's very cool. Now we're going to start doing some of our Oklahoma, Kansas runs, our Louisiana runs. We're going to start doing that sometime in August after we drop a new EP, get some stuff going. So yeah, it's fun. We're just going to start doing that so we're not oversaturating. Yeah, that's right. We had South by Southwest as well, and the Fort Worth concert as well. So it's been great. It's been a great year.
I'll try to get out and check y'all out. Well, I'll check y'all out, of course, with this, but I'll try to get out and catch one of your shows.
That'd be great, man.
My dad was a pre-war veteran firefighter. Over 2, 3 Vietnam. He's my best friend and my hero. And then my son is also my hero. I'm surrounded by these guys.
Dude, you have it.
Likewise here, sir.
That is awesome. You also have it really good because your dad is fucking awesome, and you are fucking awesome. I'm really, really happy that you're out there and you're making art and living your fucking dream.
Well, I appreciate that. The reason that I am is because of what he taught me growing up. Everything about it, the leadership, the love, and everything, and allowing me to it's not like he pushed me in any direction to do anything. The whole point is you got to do what you love, because if you do what you love, you'll be the best at what you do also.
Yes.
And thanks for that. Thanks for that, because look at this music that we're making now and all these big things.
You're welcome, my friend. But, I've been a blessed to be part of the organization American Pharmacies, which is our mission statement is very simple. We exist for one reason: protect, defend, and enhance the independent retail business model. We do that through superior economics and the best government affairs and legal team in the country dedicated to that cause.
Yeah, you do.
And then quality organizations like ours attract quality partners like PUTT.
Yeah.
And they have been one of the most significant friends we've ever had.
I
This
appreciate
is such
that.
a great partnership, and I'm sure the PBMs are concerned about it every day, and if they're not, perfect.
Yeah, if they're not, I'm
Lovely.
very glad to catch them sleeping. No,
We're
it's
to have you guys here because you are part of this story, and we got to tell that narrative every single day.
every single day.
And like American Pharmacies, PUTT is no flash, all substance. They're not counting fires, so people who act.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
I don't know. I think I got a little flash.
That's looking good too. I like it.
Yeah, that's my thing is like we go out and we're doing so much stuff on the scenes that we can't even publicly talk about. Like we're doing so many things, and it's good that you all know about half of it, and you all appreciate that, and we sing your praises all the time. Like this is the organization that I think other organizations should base themselves off of, but it's also it's filled with some of the best minds in pharmacy. Like having you all come over and talk to me about this, having Miguel come over, like everyone is just so smart and so, I guess, experienced in it. Because you can be smart and know what's going on, but if you don't have the experience, you don't know how to put it to use. And that's one thing that AP gets is it's about delivering facts. Not just facts, not just boring ass numbers, because no one cares about the numbers in the spreadsheet. They care about delivery and messaging, and that's how we resonate. And that's what we gotta do. You all get it, and that's why I will support you all with everything that I have. And I will continue to do so. And I know PUTT will continue to do so because AP's awesome.
You know, you're right, my friend. It don't matter what you know, no matter what you can do, no matter what you got. What matters is your willingness to act today.
Yep.
And there's too many people out there that are just counting fires. We don't have time for that. We're going to take it to the mat.
Yep.
And we're going to keep doing that until we win.
Yep.
And we'll win.
Yep.
We are winning.
We are. That's what people
One step at a time.
We are. One step at a time, we're going to take it to them because in the end we are right, and we will prevail because we are right. We're just trying to get there faster. And we got to try to do that by really nailing down our messaging, doing things like coming to these conferences, meeting everyone, and by just straight up hammering them and sticking their necks out because a lot of people are still afraid. And I try to tell people, quit being so afraid. Like, some people are still like, we can't talk about this because it might be collusion. The FTC is not coming after you for fucking collusion. You're an independent pharmacist. They don't give a shit. Talk. Everyone talk. Go to the FTC with all the data that you can. Quit being bitches about it.
That's what's up.
Process, every day, every way, exploit the arrogance.
Exploit the arrogance. God damn, that's a good hashtag. Exploit the arrogance. Yeah.
Imagine,
Exploit the arrogance.
I grew up with this guy, man. I hear this shit every day. It's awesome. I love it.
That's really cool. My dad is awesome and funny, and man, like I admire him a lot, and I see a lot of those qualities in you. Like, you're really cool. Where, like, having a dad would be really cool.
It's been a blessing.
Shout out, Dad. I know you're watching. Yeah, tear up or something. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll get our way. Let's go take those bastards to the mat.
Let's take them to the mat. Y'all go mingle. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Expectations.
You definitely fucking did there. Y'all are great. That was cool shit. Oh. Speaking of which, I brought this along just for my little girl. This is, I was showing it to her. Hello, Ellison. This is Percival, the PBM parrot. He has one of our PUTT stickers. Buttons. Whichever one of AP can pick up. Hi, Dad.
Hello, Dr. Lord Journey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a parent by trade, a big Chicago fan.
Oh, of course. Here, scoot in closer. Let's try to get this stuff. There we go. Well, let's get this. All right, here we go. Personal. All right, scoot in closer, Deb. I'm not going to bite you yet. You're one of my favorite people, Deb. This is Deb, our president of PUTT, the greatest organization ever.
Absolutely we are.
Deb, APEX is awesome.
They are. This is such a wonderful conference.
APEX is a blast.
And I've met so many great people that are fighting daily for independent pharmacies. They've got programs, they've got the advocacy is second to none. I mean, they're very invested in making sure that we make it.
Yeah, and they got layered.
They got layered. Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Y'all were dead on. I was definitely gonna like it.
So you've been talking to a lot of people here.
Yeah, I have. It's been fun. Got to talk to a lot of board members. Got to talk to Miguel. Got to talk to a random student that walked up and I guess was trying to I don't know, but I was like, sit down. She's talking about student advocacy.
Yeah, no, she grabbed me in the hallway earlier, and she is the firm believer, and I guess I'm getting there very quickly, that if you train students now to
Oh, okay. Here, let me turn that. Let me adjust the audio. We hear you out there. I didn't have this mic on earlier. There we go. Okay, that should take care of the echoes.
All right.
All right, we're good.
So the student is interested in advocacy. She wants to go to work at an independent pharmacy. And of course, her school is telling her that independent pharmacy is dead. How's that?
There we go.
Okay.
Of course, their school's telling her independent pharmacy's dead.
Yeah.
The schools don't give a shit about us. They like to push all the wonderful fucking residencies, the free labor that all of the hospitals and everyone get. And then they're like, oh, look at all this clinical bullshit that doesn't matter for half of us who actually have to work retail, because it is a job that has to happen. We have to function in this world. We have to deliver these drugs. Not all of us can do residencies and be clinical pharmacists. You fucking pharmacy schools, you shits.
Well, I have a pharmacy student named Gracie, and she is phenomenal. She puts together programs for us, things like that. Her heart sings to independent pharmacy. She wants to be in the community, taking care of people that she's grown up with around her entire life. She wants to do programs where she gets people well. She's everything that pharmacy needs to be, and her school is really pressuring her to do a residency.
Of course they
are.
are.
And they're telling her, if you don't do a residency, you're not going anywhere. And she goes, being an independent pharmacist is going there.
Yeah.
She's got no interest in doing anything else. So I'm very vested in making sure that by the time Gracie graduates from college and by the time the student that you talk to graduates, that there are places for them to go.
Exactly. And that's what we got to do. We're fighting for not just us, we're fighting for all of the independent pharmacies out there. We do this every day, and people, they don't get, we pour in our time. We're not paid for what we do. We put in our own money. We put in our own time. We take time away from our businesses and our families to try to do a lot of this advocacy to try to help all the pharmacies. And it's a lot, but it's so rewarding, because to me, this is a fight that I was made to do. And you have been inspirational to me, because you came in and you took us to the next level. With advocacy, everything that PUTT's doing, and you came in, and you and Monique and Brandy and Lauren and everyone else, you all kind of challenged me to go to that next level, and I've tried to do that, and I've tried to be that person for you all as much as I can, and it's been incredible what we've been able to accomplish over the last, especially year and a half or so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my vision for PUTT, coming into PUTT as a member and then getting on the board and then finally becoming president, is we were always relevant but I don't think people knew how relevant we actually were.
Yeah.
And so my goal was to make sure that people understood what we were doing, how we were doing it, and inviting people to help us.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people have woken up in the last year because
Yeah.
we do this quietly behind the scenes. I
Yeah.
mean, you got a lot of us on the board that
I'm super quiet.
outside of Jeremy.
No, that's the thing is like people get like peaks of what we do, and they're like, oh man, here's Jeremy going on about this, and like they get like little glimpses of the things that we're doing, and they have like no clue like the stuff that we can't talk about, or the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and they still think that we're one of the organizations out there that's like doing so much, and we're doing even more. Like I promise you all.
We seriously are doing so much more than the public actually knows.
Yes.
And we do it on a shoestring budget. I mean, we don't have much coming in, but we use every nickel to the biggest extent that we can. And my goal in taking over as presidency was to make us much more public, to let the public know what we were doing, and to do something to save independent pharmacy. And 2023 was a really rough year for us. A lot of independents didn't make it.
Yeah.
2024 is not looking a whole lot better, except that those of us that are still here are strong. We have spirit, and we're looking for ways to show them a path to where we can persevere and kick the PBM's ass.
Yes. That's the thing is we've got to kick their ass. We got to make sure that they're gone. And I used this metaphor earlier. We got to slay these vampires and make sure they stay in their coffin. Because once we win this fight, and we will win this fight because we're right. We'll win this fight. We still got to make sure that they stay down and they stay out of this. Otherwise, they're just going to come right back. And I've actually got an article coming out in our new thing that's happening. I don't know if we've announced it or anything, but
we have not announced it, but we have a lot of things coming down the pike that's going to let people know exactly what we're doing, as well as solicit help from people. I mean, we don't do this alone. We work very, very hard, but we also ask for a lot of help, both financially and also in spirit and showing up. I mean, all of our board members pretty much go to the legislative committee hearings and testify all the time, the subject matter hearings. We work through the rules committees to try to get things done. We're working with enforcement to, once we get an awesome bill passed, that's just step one. Now we got to make sure that it gets enforced and we hold those people accountable for it. I will not rest until the PBMs either are dead and gone or go back to the transactional companies that they once were.
I won't rest even after that. I will go ahead and I will be the person at the victory party that gets drunk and goes ahead and gives this entire speech about this great evil that's still going to come back.
Oh, you're not wrong, Jeremy. So once we get them down, we need to put that silver bullet in their heart so that they never come back.
Yeah, we do.
And then we will start working on the next problem in healthcare, because this is not limited to just pharmacy.
Yeah.
This goes much deeper. This goes into physicians, physician's assistants, clinics, labs. I mean, everything right now about healthcare is wrong. It's all about money. It's not about care, and we need to change that.
We have to kick out the financial instruments of healthcare because they're there to extract value from the system and not contribute value from to the system. And if that's what you're doing, you're just a leech. You're just a vampire. We have to take that and we've got to get rid of them, and we have to find something where your provider is going to take care of you and we're going to take care of the provider. We have to have all of our people, as far as both providers and patients, taken care of. We shouldn't have to care about the share price of companies that run spreadsheets. We shouldn't have to care about financial instruments. And that's one thing that gets lost on a lot of people. They think insurance is healthcare, and it's not. You got to break that mentality. You got to think about it differently. And that's one thing I try to get across to people. And it's something that I know we try to really hammer down with PUTT.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, the hardest part of my job is to explain to Mrs. Smith, who just came to my pharmacy, that I tell her, well, your copayment is $475, and she goes, but why? I pay a premium. I pay for insurance.
Yeah.
And there's a big conception, like you said, that insurance equals healthcare, and it doesn't.
No.
And we need to, I mean, the public, if we can get the public involved too, and employers, and get the employers to understand that healthcare is, I mean, these healthcare companies, they're not your friend. They're
No.
extracting
Oh,
dollars
no.
from you too, taking advantage of your employees. And if we can get them to start looking at direct models, and there are direct models out there,
There are.
you're going to save your company a ton of money. Your employees are going to be much more happy, and they're actually going to get care versus
Yes.
this shell game, run around crap that they're dealing with now.
Yeah. We have to get them out. Like, we have to break them up. We have to dissolve them. We have to do whatever we need to. But right now, we have to make sure pharmacies can exist. We have to focus on reimbursement. And
Yeah.
that is such a big deal right now.
It is a huge deal. We looked at that study from University of Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
where they are showing the visual video of closures of pharmacy across the United States over, I think it was a 6-year period.
Yeah.
And it is astounding how many pharmacies have closed, and not just in the rural communities. Like you would think that, oh yeah,
no.
you know, that small little town, 3,000 people, 2,000 people, whatever, yeah, they couldn't support the pharmacy. A lot of the pharmacies that have closed are in major metropolitan areas.
Yes.
I'll use St. Paul, Minnesota as one. A lot of pharmacies have closed down in St. Paul. We've got one sole independent pharmacy left. He is strong as hell, so shout out to John Hoshin and St. Paul Corner Drug. But it's a struggle for them every day to keep their doors open too.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I've told you my theory. It's like whenever Lauren went to the hearing, our board member Lauren, she went to the hearing in Illinois, and one of the big messaging, or one of the big points that the PBMs were laying down was that these pharmacies in urban areas and metropolitan areas are closing because it's a competition issue. It's not a competition issue. They're doing that, I think, right now to close these pharmacies down and to shift everyone to their own mail order facilities, and then doing same-day delivery for emergent meds, because they can have like their mail order facilities in all the major metropolitan areas. And they're doing that because, of course, they've shifted a ton of profits to mail order and specialty, and that's how they're going to silo so many patients. And that's something we got to be, you know, aware of, because they're vertically integrated companies. They can shift profit centers wherever they want to. We have to be aware of that, and we have to think ahead.
So I'll share my TSA story with the audience here. So.
Yeah.
I was flying here to San Antonio for the American Pharmacies Conference, and I had put in my bag buttons. I'm sure everybody's seen our middle finger PBM button.
Everyone loves them.
Kind of famous for it.
I showed it earlier with the parrot, but
Yeah.
in case no one's seen this.
So I had a whole bag of those in my carry-on bag. Some reason I threw it in my carry-on rather than my stored under the plane thing. And of course I got flagged, and the guy says, so do you have anything sharp in there? Well, you kind of have to say yeah, because they're pins. So he pulled it out, kind of opened it up. He put it in his hand, and he's looking at the pin, and he's looking a little confused. Then a smile came across his face, and he goes, wow, you're not afraid to express yourself. And I says, no, I'm not, sir. And he goes, so what's a PBM? So I explained to him what a PBM was, and he goes, no, wait. You mean like Express Scripts?
Yep.
And I said, yep, that's exactly it. And he goes, yeah, they screw up my wife's meds all the time. Can I have one of those? So I gave him a pin, he put it in his pocket, and he got me through security. But it's amazing, when we first started at PUTT, nobody knew what a PBM was. Now everybody knows what a PBM is, everybody knows how they affect their lives, and everybody is on board with helping us reform them.
Yes.
So we just got to keep the fight up.
We do. And thank you, Deb, for everything that you do. Thank you for being a personal inspiration to me. And thank you for always sticking your neck out and doing everything that you can for pharmacies across the country, because you're my leader and you are someone I admire greatly. And I appreciate you.
I'll do it to the end of time.
Thank you, Deb.
You got it.
All right. Come on in, we're ready. Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, I'm Teresa Dickinson. I'm the owner of Melrose Pharmacy. I am also a founding member of PUTT.
Yeah,
Pharmacists
Teresa's
United for Truth and Transparency.
a founding member, still on our board, chugging away. She is also one of the most impressive people I've ever met. She is always grunted. She restores vintage cars and does like dancing classes and stuff. Like, she is incredible. Like, it's insane the amount of stuff she does. Like, always grinding, always out here, and still finds time to come out and punch with Jeremy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But Teresa, you were awesome. Tell me about the things you've been up to, because you always have your hands in something.
Yes. So besides restoring an old car, and I have now a new saltwater fish tank I'm very excited about. That I'm trying not to kill my fish. Besides that, I'm fighting the fight like every pharmacy owner trying to stay alive. I have $17,000 a month of below cost claims. And luckily I have some cash business on the compounding side to balance it, but I'm at break even, 18 years in, and hoping that, I'm doing a lot of work for nothing.
Yeah.
And we're so close to the finish line, and I'm just waiting, hoping we get these pharmacy bills across the line. And we need to do this final hope. Obviously, it's not going to be final because they always change what the finish line is.
Oh, of course they do.
But we are the closest it's been since when I started with PUTT back in 2011.
Yeah.
So here we are, 13 years later. This is the closest we've been.
I know. It's come so far. Like, even in like the 4 or 5 years that I've been a PUTT member, we've come a long way. It feels like suddenly.
Yes.
But that's because so many people did so much work beforehand, because I didn't get into advocacy until about 5 years ago. Don't get me wrong, like, I tried to keep up with things or whatever, but I really got involved, and it was Scott Newman. I was getting on like all the pharmacy Facebook groups and all the boards and just like voicing my things, and Scott was just like, I like you. And I was like, okay. And he was like, have you heard of PUTT? I was like, yeah, I like your all stuff. Like, what can I do? I was like, dude, I will gladly be a soldier in this battle. And he was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. And then Scott brought me on board, and I've been doing it ever since. And like, I knew how this business went. I learned something new every day from you all on the PUTT board, because we have some of the smartest people in pharmacy. Like, it's incredible. And advocacy has become like a huge part of my life. And you and what you did, laying the groundwork for that, is something that I appreciate and I think should be celebrated, because you all went out and founded in 2011, was it?
Yeah.
And if you all wouldn't have done that and like lady, we would not be here yet.
Back then, I was actually afraid that my body was going to be found somewhere, that someone from a PBM was going to find out that I was talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I told people that if I'm found dead, that they need to investigate the PBMs for what it was.
Yeah, people don't realize like how oppressive like contract terms were, and how people did show up dead, just like fucking Boeing whistleblowers. Like, people died when they tried to do stuff. And it's changed now because everyone's talking about it, and that's important, because with all this talking, they can't go out and like target individuals like I think they may have done in the past, because these are really, really powerful companies. And it was really scary back in the day to get people talking, and you still came out and you still did that.
We were afraid to send emails.
Yes. Everyone was afraid. Like, everyone was even afraid of talking about contract terms, because they were afraid, like, the FTC would come after them for collusion. A lot of that
I did
was
talk
insane.
to somebody about what was going on, and then I got a phone call from my PSAO saying, hey, we got a phone call that you've been talking to somebody.
That's
and they were
insane.
about to get ready to cut my contract. So it happened to me.
Yes, people don't understand how oppressive it was. The only reason we're able to like get on this show and I'm able to do whatever is because of the work that Teresa and others did. like, we would not be able to do this. I mean, I could, and it would be really dangerous for me if I did back in the day. Like, it's really incredible, because if we did not have that, I wouldn't be here today getting drunk at AP and promoting all our stuff. And I'm really, really happy that you've done all this. And
I do want to tell one good story, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm in Arizona, and in Arizona we have a hard time, partly because it's a Republican state, so nobody wants to regulate anything. But then, they care about small business, but still they don't want us to regulate anything about our contracts.
What's the one small business organization in Arizona that has the lobbyist that is a PCMA guy?
Hey, I'm about to tell you my story.
Oh, that's what we're getting into.
So
I just want to
it's
do
a little bit
jab.
Okay, so we have a lobbyist named Diane McAllister, who I didn't realize just popped up over here. She's right here now. But she was the Express Scripts lobbyist, and she was the hardest woman in the room to be around. We had a stakeholder meeting, because in Arizona we like to have stakeholder meetings where both of the opposite sides get together and try to battle it out and compromise. Of course, you can't compromise with the PBMs. So Diane was the hardest woman in the room to deal with. And then we were talking about what the PBMs were doing to independent pharmacies, and she flat out called me a liar out loud in front of legislators. I'm like, no, this stuff is real. So she was the toughest person in the room. And then the end of the season comes, and Express Scripts does some restructuring, and they get rid of her. And I said to all our group in Arizona, we need her. So we went after her, and we got her. And then the next year, we passed PBM regulation bill with zero opposition from the PBMs.
That is a great story. I actually did not know that story. I was talking about the other one from the other group.
Oh, I don't know which one.
Yeah.
They all merged together.
There was a small business group that did the, I forget the name of them. They have lobbyists in all the states, but they're one of the groups that represent small business, but they are very, nationally anti-PBM.
Oh, are you talking about NFIB?
Yes, NFIB.
Oh.
Hey, NFIB, I appreciate what you do nationally. You have some lobbyists that I'm probably going to come after soon, and I'm not going to be nice about it either.
There's a problem with your NFIB lobbyist in Arizona.
Yes.
Chad Hendrick, I believe is his name.
Oh, his name's Chad.
Yeah.
Hi, Chad.
Yeah, he works for the opposition, and I've been putting money into NFIB year after year, and now it's pretty much, I'm not supporting you guys. I know you've talked some talk in Washington, but in Arizona, your guy is holding independent pharmacies back and hurting independent business. So you need to fix that situation.
Yeah, because NFIB in other states, they do good work, but they have particular lobbyists in particular states where they sideline a lot of things. And I think those people need to be called out, because guess what we're going to be doing soon? Calling out individuals who do this.
Chad Hendricks of
Hi, Chad.
NFIB in Arizona.
Ah.
Also, you could call out the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce. We have issues there too.
What's that? Oh, it's time.
Okay. I get to close it out?
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to close it out.
Thanks.
Yeah. You want to close it out with me?
PBMs. Come on, let's do it.
Brandy, you want to come in and close it out with us? Yeah, here comes Brandy. The rock star herself. Come in. All right, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to the 250 people who tuned in live. I appreciate you all. It's been fun. I'm sorry if there were any audio issues, because I'm new to this and I'm working it out every single time that we do this.
You killed it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you.
This is the
You
very
wild
first
bitch. I'm so proud of you.
very first conference we've gone live. This is pretty exciting. We look forward to the next ones, and I think it's very fitting that we did it here at Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apex is awesome. everyone in pharmacy, even if you're not an AP member, you need to come to Apex just to meet everyone.
It's a lot of fun.
A blast.
It's a lot of fun.
Come and have some drinks with Jeremy. Just come. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun. We're going to do it every single year. Next year, we're going to have an entire thing where you come up and you can just declare a shot on camera with a microphone and give a speech on how much you hate PBMs. We're going to be
Jeremy,
doing a lot
wait.
of this stuff.
I think it's so fitting. Have you played the commercial?
Oh, I have.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I didn't have this working. I was gonna spring it on Miguel. I'll play it for him later.
It's so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
I'll see you all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. And then also remember, fight. Playing the